Hey, if you are watching this, then you or a loved one are probably dealing with Ciguatera, and you probably watched my previous video that I did 6 years ago about my experience with Ciguatera and what I did to alleviate the symptoms. So if you are here, first I want to say I'm so sorry you got this. It is such a strange and uncommon disease. In fact, it's listed on rarediseases.org. So if you want to have anything to boast about, you can say that you have gotten something that is on rarediseases.org. In the 6 years since I posted that video, I have not only received a lot of comments here on YouTube, but also DMs in my social media channels. I've gotten a few recurring questions, and I thought I would come on here really quickly and answer them in the hopes that it provides you some encouragement and hope. One of the main questions I got was, how long do these symptoms last? And honestly, it's going to be different for everyone. For me, I can tell you that by about 6 weeks later, I was probably 90 to 95% better. And for the next 6 weeks after that, it pretty much progressed to 100%. Most of the time when someone's reaching out, it's because they are in like day 5, day 6, day 7, and they feel terrible. I understand that. I've been there, and I'm here to tell you that more than likely you will feel significantly better. One of the things I shared on that episode is the dietary adjustments. These are things that I saw throughout the internet, and I shared the adjustments I made and the little tricks and hacks that I used in order to get the nutrients that I need. As I shared there, I'm a personal trainer, and since then I am also a certified nutrition coach. So food is important to me, and I want to make sure that I am giving my body what it needs. People have often asked, how long did I make the dietary adjustments? I did probably 2 solid months of everything that I talked about in that video, with the exception of fish. I was very fortunate to get in contact with a physician who has Ciguatera. Unfortunately, he had it for a very long time, but he was able to provide me with, again, some hope and some encouragement that I am wanting to provide you. And he did recommend that I take fish out for a full year. Fish is a large staple of what I eat, so that was very difficult to do. However, I wanted to avoid re-triggering some of these symptoms. I would have a few flare-ups over the first few months, but after that, I really didn't have any. It was business as usual, with the exception of fish. I took that fish out, and then after a year, I slowly reintegrated it back into my diet. I would start with maybe 1 ounce of my very favorite fish, and then I expanded. And I really did that with all of the different foods and dietary changes that I made. I started small, did a test, and added on. I do not recommend that once you are in the clear that you go through and have a huge bowl full of bar nuts and go out to the bar and have a bunch of alcohol. I can't promise this, I don't know this, but my fear, if that were me, would be to trigger and flare up any of those symptoms. And if you're watching this and you have Ciguatera, you know you want to avoid that as much as possible. I do have a few updates from my recommendation. In that video, I did recommend the Healthy Scoop protein powder. As far as I can tell, unfortunately, that is not available anymore. If I were redoing that video today, what I would recommend is the Garden of Life organic protein powder. It is plant-based and it is third-party tested. I have learned in the last few years how important third-party testing is. And so if I were to make a different recommendation, I would definitely go for the Garden of Life. The one that I like is called Fit. What I don't like about it is the marketing and the merchandising of it, which says high protein for weight loss, because, and this is just a little nitpick, but like, why assume that I'm trying to lose weight if I'm having protein powder? But that notwithstanding, it is a great product, and it is something that I still enjoy to this day because I do like plant-based protein powder. And finally, I am here to tell you that more than likely you will feel better. I know it is hard when you're going through it, and it feels like it will never go away. It feels like you will never be able to do the things that you used to be able to do. Give yourself time, Give yourself grace. Understand that progress is not linear. You will have some good days and you will have some bad days. Listen to your body, respond as best you can, and you will get there. You can find some really dark and scary spaces on the internet with, we'll just call it long Ciguatera, and support groups for that. I'm so sorry that they are experiencing that, and my hope is that that is not your case. I've had the pleasure of continuing connection with some people who have had it, and when they reach out to me in desperation in those first week or two, they do feel better, and my hope and my prayer is that you do feel better too. This is a different video than the ones I typically offer, which is I help women age with grace and strength. However, let's just take the aging off. Let's take the women out of it because this affects all people. And let's approach this with grace, with strength, and maybe you just need inner strength to get through it, but you can do this. I know you can. I wish you the best.